So where were they even racing? Like it just popped up like yesterday out of nowhere.
Yep.
Was it Oklahoma? Maybe they were racing. I guess IMCA Stock Cars, and Dallin Murdy, right? I'm saying that correctly. He was just
it was Dallin, right?
Yes, I believe
There's like
so.
3 of them.
Yeah,
Damon, Dallin.
Pretty sure it was Dallin was over here racing with us at the Clash on the Coast just a few weeks ago.
Yep.
Won. Did he win the stock car?
He won the stock car championship. For
a couple races as well. And he's also a guy that you just hear a lot about in the IMCA stock cars out there, and then also coming along in the modifieds as well. Well, he went for a heck of a ride, like worst case scenario. I saw the video, we were texting about it, and I was like, it was worst case scenario twice, not once, but twice, where I guess he bicycled is the term.
Yeah. And there's a lot of talk about that style car chassis, the erratic build of it. It's just a build of it in the chassis, like it's over tube or something that I don't know. But like you were saying, it was like 2 of the worst case scenarios.
He goes halo first into the wall, and how he bounces off of that and then gets hit in the halo. Like double whammy right there, roof of the car, and then you see the pit. I didn't even see the video for a long time, and I don't even remember where I saw it. But it's only just a short little clip of it. But it like destroyed the halo of the car.
Yeah,
and then good
and his seat.
Yeah,
and it got
bent
his halo.
The seat. Not only the halo, but the seat was sort of bent down on him there. But it got the conversation where I saw it. Someone shared the pictures and talked about how it's going to take a Dale Earnhardt type disaster or catastrophe to wake up the sport and to get more tubing in these cars, to get more whatever, how NASCAR has added the Newman bar and this stuff and all that, and that we got to do something as a sport, I think was the post I saw going around. But on the flip side of that, I also saw someone saying, well, the cage did its job when it took about 2 of the worst case scenario hits you could.
Yeah. Like,
go ahead.
He walked away. I didn't know anything about it. You sent a picture to our group of that car, and I'm like, holy crap, is he okay?
Yeah.
Like that's.
I said they said terrible. He was. It doesn't look like he would have been, but they said he was.
And you got to say that. Well, if that's the case, his car did the job.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
Pretty.
No,
wasn't pretty, but the car did the job.
I think my thoughts on that was you got to be careful when you start talking about we need to add more bars, and we need to work on the safety of these cars, because it looks great in NASCAR that they've improved safety to such a way that it's basically unheard of to have drivers getting hurt major anymore. Injuries or even deaths in NASCAR. But how much money have they spent, and is that even possible in dirt racing? If you say, okay, we're going to redo these cages and we're going to have, you got to have this bar and you got to have that bar. And then next thing you know, you're going to basically be saying you can't have outdated chassis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
there's going to be an expiration date on a chassis. That's what it's going to come down to if you go that route.
And it's just, it's not NASCAR to where you just can spend. I'm sure there's a statistic out there about how much NASCAR has spent on safety, not only, what they're implementing and building, but the research and development that came along with that, and I just don't see that happening in dirt racing. And at the end of the day, the cage and all did protect him. It wasn't great. It wasn't pretty. Didn't look good afterward, but, I never saw that he walked away from it, but they said he walked away from it.
Yeah.
So
I seen a post that just other than minor, beaten, banged up, that he was okay. All the scans came back fine, and he was good.
Yeah, that was certainly an interesting development yesterday. When I saw that picture, I was like, "Holy cow!
Yeah,
what has happened here?"
And them stock cars. Joseph actually alluded to maybe they need a droop rule for the stock cars, because them things, man, he bicycled. That's what happened.
In a stock car.
In a stock car.
Not a late model or even a modified, a stock car that just there it went.
They get over hard on the right front, and they do got some travel in the left rear. Like, it's way up there.
that was one thing I've always thought about those, because you see those cars put on a show quite regularly. You know, you'll see a video floating around from, you know, a track up in the Midwest somewhere, and these stock cars are just getting after it 3-4 wide, and half the time or all the time, one of them's got their left front tire 3 feet in the air.
Oh,
you know what I mean? The guy digging on the bottom, he's laid over like this.
Yeah.
And then we saw him for the first time here in Florida at Northwest Florida Speedway, Southern Raceway, Clash on the Coast. And I remember I was with you waiting to turn your camera on right there at Northwest Florida Speedway, how you go over on to turn 2 to go onto the track. So I'm standing right there watching a car go down the back straightaway, and it is just laid over. And it's like, man, if he hits that hole just right, there's no way he's not going over. So I have no idea the rules of that division, but I do know those cars for a stock car. Those things,
they move.
They move.
They got movement.
And maybe, you know, that might be something they want to talk about rather than the whole, you know,
safety,
adding bars
or the cage.
To cars. I don't know. But glad he was okay. That's the moral of that story. Okay.